It's with my greatest pleasure that I get to introduce somebody who I've known for many, many, many years, Nancy Scannell.
Luckily, the show's early, and if you're like me, you'll be in bed by 9. People have asked me if I was nervous about coming up here. Let me tell you, I have so much to say about being the mother of 5 kids that I could be up here all night. So I have notes to keep me on track just in case I'm a runaway train, which I can be. Self-awareness is a strength. We have a bedtime goal, 9 o'clock, so I'll just try to veer back to the notes, and I got to give Brendan a chance to talk. So in early September, I gave a presentation to my husband Tim's company, and Brendan was there coordinating the videos of the staff. Note to self, if you want your kids to come home across the country, tell them you need them, and pay them. I'm perfectly comfortable presenting to Tim's team, unlike now. I began my presentation with my credentials for the sake of the new employees, and I said, I don't want you to think that Tim was too cheap to pay somebody. So he asked his wife to give the workshop. So from the back came this bellowing laugh. Ho, 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 ho. And it was Brendan. 5 days later, I get a text from Brendan saying, Mom, will you open for me at the Chicago Street Theater? One good joke and you end up here. I replied, how long? 10 minutes? And he responded, yes, I would be honored. Honored. Honored is something you feel when somebody asks you to be in their wedding. Or you give a few words of a eulogy. Well, seeing how Brendan's not itching to get married and he's not dead, here I am, honoring Brendan. Oh my gosh, kids! The things you do for kids. My friend Angie said maybe Tim could honor Brendan here next year. Tim said he'd buy all the tickets and lock the door. Frankly, I don't blame him. I wrote a book. It's called Let Me Tell You, I'm a Prayer in Progress. I sent copies to a few people, and I got crickets for feedback. Not a good sign. Tim took 3 months to read the book, only because I told him he was hurting my feelings because he was taking so long to get to the end. He claimed it was so hard to read because he was with me for all of this. Not a good sign. Brendan gave me quite the critique. He said, Mom, every time you get close to the real emotion behind an issue, you skirt around it and you quote some outside source. Picky, picky, picky. My roommate from college said the same thing. So I've now added a new chapter to Let Me Tell You. Let me tell you what it's like to be the mom of a stand-up comedian. My prayers are powerful. Being a mom of a stand-up is like teetering on the edge of an abyss, waiting to be shoved off the edge. It's a little like Muhammad Ali dancing like a butterfly as I'm stung by a bee. Here comes a joke about my cooking. Bam! My rebuttal, Kraft macaroni and cheese, Market Days chicken patties, and canned green beans equals a balanced meal. Served between loads of laundry. Cracks about repeat meals. This is a true story. Brendan at age 8. Chicken, chicken, chicken. All he gets is chicken. I said, Brendan, arr, arr, arr. All you do is bring home arr. I said, do I complain about the scribbles on the refrigerator? I wanted to say, you bring me a Monet and I'll serve you gourmet. Kids. Our daughter Bethy came home the summer she was studying for the bar exam. She came upstairs and she said, fajitas again? I swear to God, those crock-pot fajitas were my Vincent van Gogh, my starry, starry night. Let me tell you what it's like to teeter on the abyss when you're blasted with wit. Bam! The joke about my driving. My sister Eileen is here, by the way, to verify all these stories. My driving, my mom would shout at the ramp of the Dan Ryan Expressway, "Help me merge, help me merge." She stared ahead. She never ever looked in a rearview mirror. Then she decided, I'll stick to side streets. In Chicago, my mom would take 159th Street to Route 6 to Indiana. And I'd ask, "Mom, how was the drive?" And she'd say, "Not bad. I only got the finger 3 times." My mom did not make left turns unless she was at a stoplight. Brendan quips about my fear of bridges. My mom ducked under the dashboard any time a car went on the bridge. This, again, is a true story. Once when my mother-in-law, Mary Scannell, drove my mom home to Chicago from here, Mary Scannell made a wrong turn and ended up on the Skyway. My mom hit the dirt in the front seat, and Mary Scannell thought she'd been shot. Blame Grandma for my bridge jitters. I can joke about my mom because she passed away a couple of years ago. Somebody tell Brendan that I did not. I picture my mom at the pearly gates in St. Peter saying, "Eileen, go left." And my mom saying, "There's no stoplight. But please don't have Mary Scannell drive me." My mom was so funny. Oh my gosh, we miss her so much. So Brendan jokes about my stack of Brene Brown books. Vulnerability, the key to wholehearted connection. I'm on it. Blame Brene for me being up here. I sing the wrong lyrics and I get nailed every time. Why do you fill me up? Buttercup, baby, just to let me down. And then they'd say, "Mom, it's filled me up." To me, everybody sings too fast and everybody talks too fast. I need subtitles for everything, including my friends. I need an iPhone app called Fast Talker Transcriber. It'll save me from, "Pardon? What'd you say? What's that? Whoopsie? Oh, can you say that again?" And I have another app idea. It's called, "Where was I going with this?" This will help tangent-prone people get back to their point. You know who you are, you minutia archaeologists. I don't follow TV and movie stars, except oldies, like Robert Redford. I've had a crush on him since 2nd grade. Don't tell Tim. Brendan says I do not support his industry. I used to. Ask me about Andy Griffith, Dick Van Dyke, The Professor, and Mary Ann. I know those lyrics. Everything is fair game for a bit. My dancing, my air guitaring, my garage selling, my thrift store decor. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Let me tell you, I want to blast that, Brendan. Just saying. When I was young, I watched a lot of TV shows. It was how my mom kept us quiet before dinner on cold winter days. I was a walking, talking TV guide. Remember those? Happy Days on Tuesday nights, Brady Brunch on Fridays, followed by Carol Burnett pulling on her ear. A nod to her mother that she was all right. I loved watching for that moment of intimacy. I don't watch TV anymore. I had a little teeny addiction to One Life to Live when I was in high school, and I went cold turkey when I went to college. Besides, TV is too complicated. Ours does not have an on-off switch. If I want to watch TV, I wait till someone's around to do the remote control shuffle. Brendan comments on my exercise. If you had 5 kids, you'd run marathons too. It's no coincidence that I stopped running those things when my kids grew up. Let me tell you what it's like to be the mother of a comedian. You need thick skin. While Brendan talked about the incredible uniqueness of his sibling here last year, my heart ached. I whispered, I really did. Please stop. It felt like Roberta Flack. He was killing me softly with his words. Dramatic, I know, but I wasn't prepared. Apparently, Brendan missed the family memo. We don't talk about tough stuff. No, 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 no. One of our children lives as a wanderer and teaches us the depth of unconditional love. Lucky us to know that lesson. Brendan's humor opened a door I had locked shut and stacked a bunch of dumbbells behind. Secrecy perpetuates stigma, suffering, and pain. Wounds heal with truth. Humor's healing. Kids. Sometimes they're so darn smart. When all hell breaks loose in our family, we connect. Otherwise, my kids take their sweet time responding to my texts. I knew this texting thing was a bad idea. I resisted it, just like my aversion to AI. I could not understand why someone would text when they could just call. Now, if someone calls, I take a deep breath, I say the sign of the cross, and I ask, everything okay? Little mini panic attack? Our Kevin, who is here, so if everybody could give him a little talking to after the show, it would be great. Our Kevin is the pokiest text responder of all time. Days go by with no reply. Eventually I get 2 words. My bad. My bad. It does not sound to me like, oh Mom, I'm so sorry I didn't respond. I'm so sorry that I led you to believe I was dead in my bed. Not even close. Kids, call your mother. And while you're at it, give a few nods to the Blessed Mother. Just saying. I pray like crazy for families everywhere, and not the only mom with you can't make this up issues. On a retreat, I walked a labyrinth till it came to me. I have a unique family, and so do you, so do all of us. Lucky us, we get to experience confusion, heartache, compassion, and love. We get to live the whole gamut, all of us. Kids, they'll bust your heart wide open. Brenda makes Catholic jokes. You bet I go to church. It's my sacred place, and everybody leaves me alone. I know where to go to fill my buttercup when it's running on empty. Our daughter Katie gets it. She's a Catholic school principal in Milwaukee. She hit the Catholic thing out of the park. The others don't want to suit up. I suspect they will when I'm dead. Just saying. Kids, they bring me to my knees. Not a bad thing. Lots of great comedians are Catholic. Jim Gaffigan, John Mulaney, Bob Hope. They know they can say what they want, go to confession, and get a clean slate. Bless me, Father, for I make cracks about my mother. Brendan jokes about Ireland and the number of Celtic crosses in my house. A double whammy. Of course, every beautiful place in the world reminds me of the cliffs of Moher. Have you been there? And yes, my refrigerator is covered in Celtic cross mass cards, complete with prayers for the dead on the back. They saved me a trip to the cemetery. Let me tell you what it's like to be the mother of a stand-up. You get lots of compassionate glances. I feel loads of gratitude from others who are grateful they are not me. Let me tell you, there's no hiding. No, no, no. You never know what's coming down the pike. Or the pipe. Or I don't know. I never get that. Is it pike or pipe? I don't take things personally. I don't care what people think. Secrets multiply shame. Humor cultivates resilience. Brendan hits that out of the park. Let me tell you what it's like to sit there while Brendan is up here. I am more than ever aware that I gotta trust my kids. Kids, you gotta trust them. Otherwise, you live on the edge of a scary abyss. It took a while for me to get this trust thing with Brendan. For weeks after last year's show here, I kept my mouth zipped around Brendan. Shocker. Eventually he asked, Mom, where's the banter? Where's the wit? Where's the oomph? I said, I'm not being fodder for your show. True story. What are you talking about, Mom? You made fun of me from day. His face fell. I was not making fun of you. I was honoring you. There you go. That's what it's like to be the son of the Mama Brendan. Honored. And lucky me, I get to honor him tonight. Let me tell you about the new me as a mom in the audience. Blessed, empowered, strong, forgiving, grateful for it all, the joy and the suffering, the laughter and the love. My friend Erin described what it was like for her to watch her son play third base for Michigan. When he was at bat, she'd pray, please give him a hit. During Brendan's shows, I'd pray for a laugh. I clutch my hands, follow his stories, get into his rhythm, watch his every move, and I listen for chuckles, snorts, and giggles. The ultimate oneness of it all. Humor connects us. Thanks for coming tonight. Thanks for honoring my son with your presence. I'm so glad we had this time together.